The Blueback was in service from 1959 until 1990. It is a Barber class submarine, one of the 3 in its class. It's a diesel electric. It was a Cold War sub. It was primarily used for espionage and sneaking around and listening to things during the Cold War. It never fired a torpedo at an enemy target. Fired lots of torpedoes, but all in practice. To be on a submarine, it took 2 years of very special school. They are all volunteers, so everybody on a submarine wanted to be on a submarine. No one was placed there who didn't want to be. You didn't want somebody on your submarine who didn't want to be there. They had to go through very detailed psychological examinations to make sure they could handle the pressure. And then they had to be able to perform everybody else's job. The height restriction actually when this boat was in service was 6'8". Why a 6'8" man would volunteer, I have no idea. All the beds in there were all 6'2" and 6'2" only. If you were lucky enough and the chief of the boat liked you enough, you might get to sleep in the torpedo room where you had a little extra room for your feet. But other than that, you had to either stick your feet out or curl up in that bed. Today the height cutoff is 6'2", but when back on this boat was in service, you either ducked or you got used to crawling around on cans of boxes since they would line the floors with those. It had a crew number of 85, 8 officers and 77 enlisted men. The difference between an officer and an enlisted man is that an officer had gone to college. They get perks like living in their own specific living area. They don't have to eat with everybody else. The captain even gets his own special room. The enlisted officers, their living conditions aren't so, well, nice maybe. All the kids always love the torpedo room. They get in there and they're like, oh wow, torpedoes. But I would definitely say the sounding of the dive alarm is a lot of fun. They love that. I like seeing the people's reactions when they come in. They really realize how life was on a submarine during this era. It wasn't nice, it wasn't pretty. The USS Blueback came to Almsey in 1994. They brought her here and made her a museum because they didn't want to scrap her, to turn her into razor blades. Fine folks said that she could offer much more is being in educational facilities than being turned into a bunch of scrap metal.